my on my phone.
Oh,
All right, and we live, and we like you said, we live on the Facebook now too. So it's legit.
finally.
We fully here now.
There we
I'm gonna.
go. There we
I
go.
can't promise you guys I won't get blocked again, but I will do my best not to.
Come on, man. Stop getting
Words of a
Facebook
true
blocked.
troll.
We can't
Do my
be
best.
having these things. But everyone, welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Shoot Your
Okay.
Shot podcast.
We haven't
All
been
three
here
of us are back. Yeah, it's been a minute since all three of us been here.
since
So
Tuesday, right? No, the week before that,
Week
right?
before that, we had just me and you, then me and Joe. So now we back, all three of us, official.
yep, we all back.
Happy Tuesday,
Uh,
everybody.
yeah, like I always say, I like these Tuesday episodes because I feel like we got so much we could talk about because we had the whole weekend went by and we had there's so much going on. So I love it. I love these Tuesday episodes, and we especially got a lot to talk about. All of us individually, and then we come together as a whole. So what's good, Marcus? How you doing? Glad you came back. Yeah, we're gonna be dropping some knowledge. So let's get right to it. Joe, he got a little rant prepared for y'all. Baseball related. We haven't talked baseball yet, even though it is in like the middle of the season by now.
No, we about a third through.
Third of the way through.
Yeah,
So we
about 40%. So
I have had a couple people ask me about baseball. So we will once the NBA playoffs is over and the finals are over, we'll be getting more into baseball. Don't y'all worry. We will touch on that. Joe is our baseball expert. I think Vic know a little bit too, but I'm getting into it. I'm trying my best. Let's go Braves. But Joe, get to it, man. What you got for us today?
well, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm not gonna rant much, and I'm not gonna dig too much into it. This ain't got nothing to do with games and scores and everything like that. I just wanted to get this out the way. Jacob deGrom, just got to give him his props for what he's been doing. He's been the best pitcher in baseball, hands down, over the last 3 to 4 years. This year, he's 6-2 with an ERA of 0.56. Again, that's 0.56. In 10 starts, he has given up a total of 4 runs. That's a run every 2.2 starts, which is highly insane. In 10 starts, he struck out over 100 batters, so he's averaging 10 strikeouts a game. And just got to give him his respect and his props for what he's been doing this year. He's on pace to win another Cy Young Award. That'll be 3 over the last 4 years, which is, again, insane. You ain't see pitching like this since the early, mid-'90s when you had guys like Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson doing their thing. So I just wanted to get that out there. If anybody feel that there's competition or feel that there's another pitcher that could compete and put up the same amount of numbers, I would love to hear it. But as of right now, there's no debating, there's no arguing. Jacob deGrom, best pitcher in the game right now, and I'm glad he's wearing the blue and orange for the Mets. And
Are you really?
That's
Because
what's up.
they can't win.
well,
What
as
is
of
there or
right now,
not?
as of right now, we're in first place.
You guys are in first. What the
That's-
shitty division?
I don't give a fuck. That doesn't matter. As of
That's
right
true.
now, we're in first place, and and Jacob deGrom is 6-2. So therefore, he's getting enough support and he's getting enough decisions under his belt. It's not like he has 10 starts and he has nothing to show for it. In 10 starts, he's 6-2, which means he's gotten a decision in 8 of those starts, and he's hands down leading the Cy Young chase. So what happened in the past, that's the past. We're going to focus on right now and hopefully the future, and we can keep getting these runs for Jacob deGrom and keep building these wins for him, so that way he can finish the season on a great note and bring that third Cy Young Award home. So that's all. That's all I really got to say about it.
I think
So I know you. Hold on, I want to ask this real quick, Vic. I know you mentioned a couple of names, Randy Johnson, one of them. Is there anybody else you could think of that over time that is come close to or has done better as far as pitching, specifically pitching, is concerned?
My biggest thing is earned run average. Like, yeah, you've had pitchers win multiple Cy Young awards. I believe Clemens has 6 or 5. Randy Johnson has about 4. You got Greg Maddux with 5 of them, I believe. So you have numerous pitchers that have brought home multiple Cy Young awards. But as far as ERA, you've never seen a pitcher in the modern era over the last 40, 50, 60 years. You want to go back to guys like Gibson in the 60s. His ERA was 1.5, 1 and some change. So as far as like right now, you're not going to find a pitcher that's going out there every single start giving up less than a run. You know what I'm saying? Over the last 4 years, he has an ERA of under 2.
I do that on MLB The Show. Come on, I'm not impressed with that. Come on.
Well, video games don't matter. You don't. You're not out there doing what he's doing. So over the last 4 years, to have an ERA of under 2 is incredibly insane. The stretch that he's on, the run that he's on, and it just seems like he's just hitting his stride. He's getting better and better. He's thrown the most pitches over 100 miles per hour this year. And over the last 2 years, he has more pitches over 100 miles per hour than pitchers had over the last 10, 15 years. So
steroids. Okay.
I mean, let's not talk about Cole.
Hey, I don't care.
Yeah, you better care. You're gonna be paying that man $30-something million to sit at home.
Joe,
suspension.
I got a quick question. I think I read a stat. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. It says something about I think the DeGrom has scored more runs than he's allowed, or it's the same.
Well, he has more RBIs than runs. I believe he has 5 RBIs and has given up 4 runs, which is another insane stat due to him being a pitcher. Exactly. So
even I know that's crazy.
Yeah, so this goes to show you the domination that he's doing every start. Every start he goes out there, and so I that's all I want to say, man. Like I said, I'm glad he's wearing our jersey and he's pitching for our team because I wouldn't want it any other way. You know what I'm saying? I hope this guy stays with us forever and retire as a Met. Because as of right now, even though we've had, pitching greats in the past, I'll give him one of the greatest Met pitchers ever to play the game.
Where do you place him all time right now?
Compared to Mets or everyone?
Everyone.
Well, me personally, I know a lot of people don't do it, but I try to eliminate guys that pitch in the 1910s and the 1920s. Because they were pitching unheard of. They were pitching every day or every other day. I usually
they was all drunk and coked up too.
Yeah. Things were different. So I usually start to when pitcher was really, going every 5 days. They were, 30, 33 starts a year. So then you got guys that so-called were on steroids. So I don't know. Personally, it may be a biased opinion. I will put him top 3. And that's mainly because of the domination that he goes out there every single start. Nobody can remember the last time that man went out there and had a bad start. Got roughed up for 4 runs, 5 runs, 6 runs. Like we talking 4 or 5 years since the last time he's done something like that. So right now he's on an incredible run. And I just got to give him those props. So as of right now, personal bias opinion, I would have him in the top 3. I'm pretty sure you're going to have people that debate that and want to put him lower. But, there's not many in the game that has been this good. Pedro Martinez had a nice little stretch where he had about 4 or 5 years of domination. So, but even his earned run average wasn't as low as DeGrom's, You're looking at a man that might finish the season with an ERA under 1. So, these stats are just unheard of. These, the numbers he's putting up just can't be touched right now. So, I would put him up there.
I agree. He's the best pitcher in the majors right now. I think it's by far. I don't even think it's really close.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no one in the game right now even coming close. Like, yeah, They may have a start here and there, but no one's coming close. You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers he's putting up is insane, you know? So that's all I really wanted to talk about. I just had to get that out the way, bring up the Grom, you know. I don't know. I think,
my homie Derek, he said maybe the hitters aren't as good this day and age. I wouldn't say that.
No, I wouldn't say that either. I mean, analytics is changing the game and messing the game up. You know, they want these guys to hit for home runs all the time, so they all swinging for the fences, and the shift is actually killing a lot of them. But I blame the hitters at the end of the day. You know what you're good at. You, as a hitter, know what you're good at, and if you want to listen to what someone who's a non-hitter is telling you what to do, then that's on you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You get out there. If I go up to the batter's box and they playing this shift on me and the whole right side of the infield is open, then I need to hit it in that area. If you can't hit it in that area because you want to listen to some guy that's sitting in the office on a couple of computers, then that's on you. It doesn't mean you're not as good as today as you was as before. It's just you just listening more. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Analytics is destroying the game with this home run and you know, they want you to focus on launch angles and all this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, you as a hitter know, listen, man, I need to just get on base, keep the line moving. And it don't matter what the shift is and where the shift is. If you're getting struck out, it doesn't matter. And that's what Jacob deGrom is doing. It's not like he's in jams where the shift is helping him. Like, he's just going out there and completely striking hitters out. So, I don't know. I wouldn't say that these guys are bad today. These guys are just as good today as they were, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Cool. So we'll end on that. And like I told everybody, I know we do have a lot of baseball fans. We will be talking more baseball further on down the line. We'll get to my little rant, or really just kind of a recap. Y'all know I'm the soccer expert, the football expert. So we got, what their branding is Euro 2020 because this was supposed to happen last year, but as we know, because of COVID, it could not happen. And I think I didn't even know, but I think the Central American, the South American, Central American tournament's going on too right now, but it's not getting as much attention. But we're just going to stick with the matches that have happened already. I've watched most of them. We started off with my team, Italy. That's who I root for. I'm Italian heritage, so I root for Italy because USA is trash at football. They started the whole thing off. We are in the group stages, so if y'all don't know how it works, there's 4 teams per group. For a win, you get 3 points. For a tie, each team get a point, and for a loss, you get no points. The top 2 teams with the most points advance to the next stage. So Italy beat Turkey 3-0. Real impressive. Italy is built on defense, and we showed we have a solid defense, and we scored some goals, so that's really good. Wales and Switzerland, they tied. Wales and Switzerland never really been known as powerhouses, so that's not too much of a surprise. The most notable game of these first games was the Denmark versus Finland game. Christian Eriksen, he collapsed in the middle of the game. I know a lot of people didn't get to see it because they didn't show it. I got to watch it live, and one of the scariest moments I've ever witnessed in live sports, period. Truth be told, when dude hit the ground and the way he was looking, I thought he was dead. They said that he was gone for a couple minutes there for a while. They did CPR. They said they had to hit him with the defibrillator at least once, I think, and that brought him back too. They did say it was a cardiac arrest, but he is currently, he's good. He's in the hospital still. They are still, I think, trying to figure out exactly what the issue is. I hope he gets better. He's a great player. I know a lot of people might not know who he is, but he is a great player, a great passer of the ball. And I hope his career gets to continue, because I mean that's a scary moment, especially for his wife who was there. So shout out to Christian Eriksen. Hope you get better, and hope maybe you can even return for the tournament. They did lose. His team did lose after they resumed the game, which I personally don't feel like they should have resumed the game same day, but they did. We got to move. We got to move on. Belgium and Russia played. Belgium is always supposed to be one of those top tier teams, and they showed it. They won 3-0. Russia, again, not a real powerhouse, but Belgium is stacked with players. Eden Hazard, Thibaut Courtois, Romelu Lukaku. I mean, these are big name guys. They need to finally win something because they've been picked to win World Cups and Euros for the past 6 years, and they haven't done it. So they need to really step it up. England and Croatia. England scored a goal. Raheem Sterling scored the winning goal, 1-0, and that's interesting because where the stadium was, I think, less than 3 miles from the house where he grew up, and it was his first ever goal for his international squad, England. So that's a cool story. Austria and North Macedonia. I know absolutely nothing about North Macedonia, but they got beat 3-1. Netherlands beat Ukraine 3-2. Czech Republic beat Scotland 2-0. And these are, not really any teams that anybody's really counting on. The Netherlands was a really good game. Netherlands went up 2-0. Ukraine came back, tied it up. This is the game I was telling y'all about. And then Netherlands scored, I think, in like the 85th minute to put them up and win that game. Spain and Sweden was a crazy match. It ended up 0-0. Spain dominated this game. Very, very few times will you see a team dominate another team as far as possession on the ball and just not be able to finish. Morata, he is notorious for not scoring goals. He had many opportunities that he squandered. So they ended 0-0. And a lot of people are saying they might just be a little too young for this tournament. But they look good in possession. So we'll see how they do going forward. The 2 games today, Portugal and Hungary. Cristiano Ronaldo proved he is still, in my opinion, the best player on the planet. Scored 2 goals. One was a penalty. They scored late. And then France and Germany, which was another really good game. France is favored to win this entire tournament. They are the last World Cup winners, and they won 1-0 against a really good German squad. Germany is always one of the best teams. Those will probably that might end up being 2 of the last 4 teams left when it's all said and done. So there's at least 2 games every day going forward for a long time. I'll try to keep y'all as updated as much as I can. I'm also going to try to post a little more in the sports group about it. So hopefully y'all tune in and enjoy it. I know these guys have tried but have I think failed to watch any match, even though there's 2 on a day, but it's all good. I'm gonna get them to watch something. Y'all wait and see.
All right, so as of right now, who would you pick as the favorite to win everything?
If I'm picking with my heart, I want Italy to win. They're not a favorite to win, but our defense, our 2 center backs, Bonucci and Chiellini, are 2 of the best center backs that you have in football in the world, even though they're getting a little older. And they pride themselves on defense. These are not dudes who are going to get up on the pitch and try to score. They're staying back. They're playing hard-nosed defense. They're going to they're going to go for tackles in the box. They're going to play hard. The biggest issue we have is the USA. They're not even in the Euros. You got to be in Europe to be in the Euros, Derek. But
we're still going for them. Fuck that.
So if I'm picking with my heart, I'm picking Italy. But if I'm picking with my head, I gotta say France. They just, from top to bottom, they just have the best team. They got goal scorers. They got some of the best midfielders in the world. They got a good keep. They got a good defense. N'Golo Kante, who plays for my squad, Chelsea. He is probably the best defensive midfielder maybe ever, but definitely in the game right now. Strikers, they got Mbappe, they have Olivier Giroud. They're just, I mean, and I think Giroud's not even playing yet. He's coming off he's on the bench. They're just from top to bottom the most complete team. So if I was betting, I would take France to win it all. Paul Pogba, he's another guy. He's a superstar, but he always tends to play better with France because he's surrounded by players that are at his talent or better than him, and that elevates his game to a whole nother level. Especially N'Golo Kante, because he's not the type of player that wants to get back and play defense as a midfielder, and N'Golo Kante tends to make up for that because this dude, he's fast, he runs all day. If you ever watch a France game, watch N'Golo Kante, he's up in attack, he's back and playing defense. He's fun. He's really fun to watch. But yeah, I'll say France is probably going to end up taking it.
Okay, that's good. Well, good luck to Italy. Hope they, at least get, to the final game and put up a challenge. But
I hope nobody wins.
I don't know if nobody could win, but I know one team that's not winning, and that's USA. So
because we're not in it.
USA is not going to win this. We could put that behind us, and like I said, good luck to Italy, and hopefully they can pull something through. Yeah, you never know, man. You get
anything happen. Like I said, Italy, they always find a way to win these kind of tournaments. Even the World Cup we won back in the early 2000s, no one had us winning, and we do. We'd find a way because again, we always base our teams on defense. We're always strong in the back. With a good counterattack, and the new coach that we have, he's a good coach. Anything's possible. I do see Italy at the very least getting to the last four. If I had to pick I can't even pick my last four, but right now I have to see what happens when they get out of the group stages and what the standings are looking like after that. But I think that they can at least get to the final four.
All right, cool.
Go USA.
There you go.
Hey, USA, I mean, don't get it twisted. USA probably has one of the strongest teams they've had in a very long time. Christian Pulisic is probably the best American player ever right now, and he's playing really well for USA. They are playing some qualifying games. They got a couple key wins. So, I mean, the future is bright for USA. So, we'll see what happens, whether they can put it together for the World Cup, that remains to be seen. But they do have some exciting players that are worth rooting for, which has not been the case for a very long time.
You heard it here first. USA will win the World Cup. Thank you, Joseph.
That's Vic. That ain't me.
All right. So what's next on the list?
Vic had a little UFC he wanted to talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna just run through it. I'm not gonna stagnate it. Saturday we had UFC 263. I'm gonna just go over the three main events that everybody was waiting for. Not saying that the other fighters on the card wasn't as good, but I'm gonna just go over that. We had Leon Edwards against Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz finally came back after a couple years. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of Nate Diaz before. No,
I've heard of him.
I've heard the name.
Man, look, I'm done with that guy, man.
Okay. So you must have seen highlights or something.
I mean, listen, I'm not that deep into UFC, but I follow the major names, the Diaz and Stylebender, John Jones, and the big names. But I'm not really into it. And then if there's nothing else on to compete with it, then I'll probably lock in. But I had NBA playoffs that night, so I knew we would be talking about that a little more. So
yeah, like Vic said in the comment, Nate had a chance to win the last 30 seconds. He wobbled Leon, but decided to showboat for whatever reason. Didn't take advantage of it. Yeah. Let Leon grab him,
and that was it.
That was it. But Leon dominated the whole fight, just not the last 30 seconds. You know, he slipped up. He got caught with a nice, looked like it was a straight through the guard. Like I said, wobbled him. Nate wanted to be a clown like he always is, and it cost him the fight. If he would have jumped on him, he might have finished him. Yeah, last minute of the fight. To me, it was. Yeah, that was another one too. I want to pull up the picture for that one if we can, but I don't know if we could do that. Will we get hit with infringement if we pull up videos, highlights?
I don't think so, but I don't know how we would post it. If anything, we could post it in the group.
Okay, so yeah, that was Leon and Nate. Like I said, I'm gonna just run through this. And then the co-main event was Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. That was the rematch that they had last year. That was a draw. Some people thought Moreno won. Some people thought Figueiredo won. This was one-sided. Brandon Moreno ended up winning in the third round due to a chokehold. He dominated round one. He dominated round two as well. If he didn't submit him, I think he would end up knocking him out. Moreno is fast, accurate, and has power. When you put all those three together, that's very dangerous. Figueiredo is amazing, but he had nothing against Moreno. Moreno just made him look bad. Yeah, he just made him look horrible. I think Figueiredo needs to move up in weight. I think he's done with bantamweight. He's too big. It's hard for him to make that weight. So I do think he's going to end up moving up to flyweight. That should be his next move. Yeah. And the main event was Izzy, the style bender, versus what's his name? Marvin Vetero. However you pronounce that. If I messed it up, I apologize, guys. This fight was one-sided. It was, yes, the first Mexican-born champion to do that as well. It was very emotional at the end. The crowd was going crazy. It was a beautiful thing. You know, if you're Mexican descent, you know, he made you guys proud Saturday, without a doubt. Back to the Izzy and Vetero fight. That was one-sided. Izzy dominated just like he did the first fight. I don't think anybody expected anything different. Going into this fight, Vetero was the better wrestler, and he was going to do this, that, and this to Izzy. Didn't happen. He took him down 4 out of 14 attempts, and on each takedown that he succeeded, Izzy dominated on the ground. So, you got something to say, Joe? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I seen highlights to this match. You don't think they stopped the fight a little fast?
What you mean?
Like, I believe they were on the ground and Stylebender hit him like with something, and then he hit him again, and it didn't look like. It went
5 rounds.
It was a decision. I thought the ref stopped the fight.
No, the ref didn't stop it. It went 5 rounds. It was a unanimous decision. Now, what you might have saw is he might have had him on the ground, and there really wasn't no action going on. So the ref breaks it up and make you stand up.
All right.
So that's
because it looked like the ref had stopped the fight.
No,
and, made them go to their corners or whatever. It could have been like the end of a round or something as well. So that's all right. All right,
yeah,
cool.
That could have been at the end of the round.
Yeah, because when I saw the highlight, I'm like, why did he stop the fight? So it didn't look like the guy was out or whatever, but it could have been that. So all right, cool. So it went the whole 5 rounds. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
like Vic said, Stylebender controlled the fight and dominated. The one thing about Izzy is Izzy's a smart fighter in the octagon. He's gonna adapt to you. So you have to be very unorthodox, just like he is. If you're plain and simple, he's gonna pick you apart like he did to Vettori. This guy couldn't even get him with one clean shot, let alone barely take him down. Like I said, he was 4 out of 14 on takedowns. You guys could do the percentage on that. And when he did take him down, he had absolutely nothing. He was the bigger fighter. He had nothing for Izzy. Izzy's not a dumb fighter. Izzy's not going to stand there and bang with you. Izzy's going to go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. He's going to frustrate you. He's going to make you fight his fight. You have to be unorthodox to beat this guy. Or just fight him in another weight class like he did against Blachowicz, and that was a whole different story.
Right.
But yeah, right now, I don't see nobody really beating Izzy at his own weight class. So yeah. And that was pretty much it. I don't want to keep rambling because I know we got basketball. But one more thing, shout out to Clarissa Shields. We spoke about that on Thursday.
I was about to talk on that.
She did get dominated the first 2 rounds, which I called it. She was going to get taken to the ground, which happened the first 2 rounds. But round 3, she tried to take her to the ground again, and Clarissa stuffed the takedown, stayed on top,
Yeah,
pounded her until the ref
yeah.
stopped
She hit her
it.
with some good shots. I ain't gonna lie.
So congratulations to Clarissa Shields. Welcome to the MMA on your first victory. I hope you have many, many more. Brush up on those ground skills. You definitely need to brush up on that. But
Yeah,
congratulations.
yeah.
Anything?
I wanted to bring that up. I did catch a little bit of that fight, and I believe it was over in the 3rd round or something like that.
Yeah, she ended it in the 3rd
Yeah,
round.
she
Like I
ended
said,
it in the 3rd round.
the chick went for another takedown.
Yeah,
She
'cause,
stuffed the
Alex
takedown.
She couldn't deal with the hands. Clarissa was killing her with the hands, and she just kept trying to take her down. And I thought she had her when she tried to do the arm bend and everything, and she tried to lock that arm, and Clarissa did a great job reversing it and getting out of it. And that was another thing she did. Every time she would get out of it, she would hit, you know. So she stuck to what she know. But you're right, she definitely need to work on, you know, her ground skills, because you're not going to be able to fight everybody and use your hands all the time. Some people will turn it into a strictly wrestling match, and that's where you disadvantage and you're going to lose.
Another thing, like I said, shout out to her camp. They picked the right opponent. You know, I think
most definitely
3-6 or 3-8 or something like that. Now, that would have been someone else that was a bit better. They might have ended Clarissa Shields on the ground, but
yeah, because she looked, like I said, she looked terrible, especially trying to box her. She couldn't even take the punches. Like Clarissa was catching her, and you could see it all in her face that, you know, she couldn't do it. She couldn't take too many of those, you know. So, but yeah, it was definitely a decent fight, especially for her first one, you know. But like you said, she definitely needed to work on a lot of things before she tried to get in the ring with someone that's a lot more experienced.
Definitely. So that was pretty much the weekend of UFC. I just wanted to do a quick rundown. I didn't want to be too detailed with everything because we got other stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we got these NBA playoffs to talk about, and I want to start with the one series that's already over. I don't remember what our picks were, but I don't think any of us had this being a sweep. The number 3 seed Denver got swept by the 2 seed Phoenix.
I had the Suns in 5. I knew it wasn't going to be a deep series, because the Nuggets didn't have Jamal Murray, and that supporting cast looked terrible. And Phoenix is a way better defensive team than Portland. So, you know, I didn't see Denver winning any more than one game. So, yeah, 5 was my pick.
Yeah, I think I might have said 5 or 6, but I actually think. I mean, I won't say this was a surprise, but boy, did Phoenix show up. You know, everybody on that team seems to be clicking right now. You know, the Nuggets were, you know, like you said, without Murray. I didn't even realize they were without other dude too, Will the Thrill.
Barton.
Yeah, I didn't even realize they were short him too. That's a big loss for that team as well, because he scores, you know, points in bunches for them. So that was that. I mean, between them two, you know, you missing out on anywhere from, you know, 25 to 60 points, depending on what kind of night either of them could have. Because we all know what Jamal Murray could do, and we all know what Will Thrill could do on any given night. So, you know, I think they both teams at full health. I don't see this being a sweep, but, you know, you got to play with the players you have on the court, and Phoenix took advantage. Chris Paul is proving, I mean, really all the haters wrong right now. You know, everybody didn't want to give him a big deal last offseason, and, you know, nobody thought that he was worth it. And, you know, he's proven that he is.
Surprise.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, I'm not gonna be the guy that, you know, I was one that said 40 to 45 mil a year was a little steep, but I also say that he's like the second best point guard in the league. Like, you know, you're not gonna, when it comes to point guard position, I would say he's number 1. That's because I don't view Steph as a point guard. I view
Yeah.
Steph as a scoring guard.
Yeah.
So when it comes to point guard, the description of a point guard and what a point guard job is, then you're not going to find anything better than Chris Paul. You know what
Not
I'm
even
saying?
close.
Right. He facilitates. He manages. He gets everyone involved. The guy got eyes everywhere, like everywhere, behind the side. Like he has every eye open. So when it comes to point guard, you're not going to find anything better. So
Nope.
and he picked the perfect spot. Phoenix is what that's what they needed. They needed a point guard. They had just about every other position on lock, and with that acquisition and that addition, that was it. That's all they really needed. So, it's like I said, when you put these teams together, it's a puzzle, and you can't just grab a piece and if it don't fit, you bang and try to force it. Now you got to find the perfect pieces to this puzzle and put it together. And Phoenix was missing that one piece, and it fit perfect, man. So I hope it continues. They'll have a challenge no matter what, whether it's Utah or the Clippers. And I just feel like with Chris Paul, if as long as he can stay healthy, he can maintain it, and it's going to be a great Western Conference Finals.
I agree. Yeah, that was a perfect fit to that puzzle. He against Denver. He averaged 25 and 10. He shot 50 from the field, 44 from the 3-point line, and 91 from the free throw line.
What's his assists? His turnovers. Because he doesn't turn the ball over.
At all.
At all.
So the assist to turnover ratio was through the roof.
Yeah, he had a couple of games where he had 15 assists and no turnovers. Like
that's impressive.
Yeah, for a man that's holding the ball and is in control of the basketball for so long, not to have a turnover is like that's what you want. That's what you need. Less turnovers, that's more possessions for your team. That's more chances and opportunities to score. And Denver just couldn't compete. But before we get off this and jump to a next series, I just want to say Aaron Gordon played like crap.
Oh, he averaged for your third best player should not average 9 and 5.
And I wouldn't even call him the third best, seeing that Murray is gone. He should have stepped up and been your second best, because you asking Porter, who's pretty much in his first full season. Even though he played last year, he played pretty much in the bubble. He didn't really play during the season. He sat out through the back injury. So this is pretty much his first full season. So to ask a person that has 1 year under his belt to be your second best player in the second round of the playoffs is asking a lot. So I feel that should have came Gordon's responsibility. Gordon was supposed to step up and been Denver's second best player once Murray went out.
He's been billed all those years in Orlando. Shout out to my homie Ryan Gordon. He's a Magic fan, so he knows better than anybody. He's been billed as this superstar or at least all-star caliber player, and we have not seen it ever.
Yeah.
Other than the dunk contest where he's gotten robbed a bunch of times. It's almost like he can't get past that, and it's like now he's got like this grudge against the NBA. So, either he not trying or he don't care no more, or whatever. But
you're gonna find yourself on a G League team doing that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, what type of player are you? Are you a shooter? Are you driving to the basket? Are you a post player? I don't know what type of player he is. Are you just a dunker? What are you good at?
It seems like all he's good at is dunk contest.
Yeah.
Because he didn't display nothing in not just this round, but in the first round against Portland, he wasn't really doing anything. I wouldn't even say that, because at least Dwight Howard produced when he went to other teams. He went to the Lakers, he went to Houston and was a 20 and 10 guy. So it's like Gordon, I don't know what you're getting out of Gordon. Like for him not to
highlight.
Yeah, for him not to average 17 to 22 points in these series is bad.
He's supposed to be a difference maker. Point blank. Period.
Right.
He was brought into this team to make a difference because Jamal Murray was already out. He was already hurt when they made that trade. He was brought in to be their number 2 guy.
Well, I believe they played one game together, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
I think they played one game and Murray got injured that game that they played, or the next game they played together, or something like that.
Well, either way, he was brought in to be the number 2, number 3 option, whatever it is, and he did not perform like that. I don't see the comparisons to Dwight because a lot of the issues Dwight had past the Magic were injury issues. He had that back issue for a long time, and speaking of someone who has back issues, that shit is not anything to play with. And you know, I'm not making excuses. I'm not really even a Dwight Howard fan, but I think a lot of the reasons wasn't because of the big market he went to. It was injuries. I think he had some knee issues too. As far as we know, Aaron Gordon's never had a big injury. He's pretty healthy. He was, he's a durable guy. He's not as big as Dwight was. So, he's not pounding on his knees as much because really for a guy that's supposed to be this big dunker, you don't see him get many dunks in the games.
No, he really doesn't. It's usually just during All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
It's
so
really
he's literally, maybe, because he was in Orlando and they didn't really have anything else. And that's why, he got bigged up and, because I remember, it always seemed like there was an excuse. Oh, they were playing him at a position. Oh, he don't have no shooters around him. And then they got him at the right position. They got shooters around him and still nothing. So I don't want to spend too much more time on Aaron Gordon because he's really not worth our time. I will say one last thing about Chris Paul. I think if he is not on this Phoenix team, they don't even make the playoffs. And that's why, to me, he is the true MVP.
I think they make the playoffs, but they like a 7-8 seed because they did go. They even though it was the bubble, they went 8-0. They had a promising future. I just think he made them 10 times. He did make them 10 times better.
Yeah.
But another thing, FYI, they played 4 games together. Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray played 4 games, and on the 4th game, that's when Jamal Murray got hurt.
So Aaron Gordon had bad luck then.
I guess if that's what you want to call him.
I mean,
that's what you want to call him.
Joker did what he wanted to do. 25, 13, and 6. There's nothing else you could have asked for him to do.
No.
I think everyone else needed to step up. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I mean, Michael Porter tried. He averaged a little over 17, about 18 a game. It's not enough, in my opinion. It's just not enough.
Step down than what he did versus Portland. I believe he averaged about 24, 25. So
that's not enough.
So for you to take a 7-8 point scoring dip and you can't get that from somewhere else, then that's a recipe for losing.
Yeah. So let's move on to the game tonight, which is turned into a very interesting series. The Bucks versus the Nets. It is now 2-2. And we have officially been proven wrong. The Nets have lost more than 2 games. They've now lost 3 in the playoffs, so we were all wrong. We said 2 were under. They are saying James Harden will try to go tonight, but Kyrie is likely done for the series. So who y'all think wins tonight? Well, first and foremost, give me your opinion on James Harden coming back.
I think it's stupid because they say he had a setback earlier this morning when they was doing practice warm-ups. So if you had a setback this morning, why? I get it. You want to be there for your team, but if it's going to make it worse and even prolong it, then why try? I say just sit it out. Kyrie not coming back. Sit it out. Just run it back next season.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think it's a decoy. I don't think if he does play, I don't think it's going to be much. I think they're just trying to throw Milwaukee off, maybe have Milwaukee plan to have him play and then you take him out or whatever. But it is stupid. You could look at the Anthony Davis injury. You could look at KD's injury a couple of years ago. I mean, these injuries are nothing to play with. So you could either take the few weeks off or you can miss a year. And you just got to be smarter than that. And I think if I was the GM or even the head coach of the Nets, it's like, bro, you're not playing because we're paying you $40 million and we're hoping you can go next year. I'd rather you miss this than you have to sit out a whole year and I still got to pay you $40 million. So I wouldn't advise him to play. But if he says he's going to try to give it a go, then hey, I just hope everything works out for the best. As far as our picks went, like, yeah, we did say the over-under was 2. We did stick with 2. But we thought it was going to be this team being healthy. We didn't know these injuries would hit them. We didn't know Kyrie would, miss the game. Because, honestly, if he didn't miss that game, Brooklyn wins. They were winning, and they were on the verge of winning that game if Kyrie doesn't go out. So that changed everything. As far as tonight go, hey, look, it's a big mountain for KD to climb, but he has to climb it. Like, as much as I want to sit here and not compare him to LeBron or to anyone else, it's like, dude, it is a lot of truth as to what people are saying and what people say. He's had it easy for the last 5-6 years, and it's time for him to show that, I can put a team on my back. And we're not asking you, again, the same situation. I'm not asking you to score 50-something points. I'm asking you to score when it's important. If Milwaukee goes on an 8-0 run, I need you to score to stop that. I need you to stop the bleeding. I need you to look for your teammates. Try to get your teammates involved. You know what I'm saying?
That's not his game, though.
I mean, I understand that. But once you start cooking and once you start scoring, it's going to open the other team because then Milwaukee ain't going to have no other choice but to double team you, but to have help defense. So it's going to be a guy open. I'm not asking you to come down and throw alleys and between the leg passes and all this, that, and the third, but it's about making smart choices. We can't have you going 11 for 28. We can't have you putting up a donut in the fourth quarter. These are things we can't have. The same thing about LeBron when the Lakers lost to the Suns. I wasn't asking him to go out there and score 40, 50 points. I didn't want that. Put up a fight. Show that, it's not going to be easy. If you beat me, fine. Fuck it. You underhand, you underman. The odds are stacked against you. But go out with a fight, man. Go out swinging. You know what I'm saying? You can't have more turnovers than points in the fourth quarter. These are things that we don't want to see because then that's when the narrative begins to be true, that you can't carry a team and you can't do this and you can't do that. So I think if the Nets lose, as long as KD go down swinging and he put up the best fight he can, then nobody can say nothing because right now he's undermanned. And I heard someone say, it's one superstar against one superstar and role players. And I'm like, bro, you can't be serious. There's no way you can compare Drew Holiday and Middleton to what the Nets got right now. You know what I'm saying? It's no.
What you mean, Joe Harris not a superstar?
I mean, no, hell no. And neither is RJ Barrett. So we're not even going to get into that. But no, you can't compare Joe Harris and Bruce Brown and
Claxton.
Griffin and Clarkson. Claxton. You can't compare those guys to what, the Milwaukee Bucks had. Then he proceeded to say, well, the Nets got an all-star still in Blake Griffin. I'm like, dude, when was the last time Blake Griffin made an all-star? I said, if you want to count that, then you got to count Jeff Teague sitting on Milwaukee's bench with an all-star selection. Like, come on, you sound stupid, man. I said, if that's the case, Milwaukee got 4 all-stars in their starting lineup with Middleton, Drew Holiday, Giannis, and Robin Lopez, who made an all-star team.
I was going to say Brook Lopez.
In New Jersey. Like, come on, let's be for real here. You know what I'm saying? So, again, if the Nets could lose, but as long as KD can come out swinging and fighting, and he could get a little help from his team, then, yeah, he could probably pull this off.
Yeah, I agree with both y'all. I think James Harden needs to learn from Anthony Davis. He just needs to sit it down. Hamstring injuries, I've said on this podcast a million times. Hamstring injuries are the toughest injury to deal with because you might feel just fine, and you take that one step and it's all over. You don't want to make it worse like KD did, and he had to miss a whole season. A hamstring can go from a minor injury to a severe injury that lasts a very long time, maybe your entire career. And the way James Harden plays, having a healthy hamstring is very important. So even if he does play, he's not going to be as effective as he usually is. In the pick and roll, trying to score for himself, those step back threes, it's not going to happen if he's not right. Now, if he's 100% and they're confident, which it doesn't sound like that's the case, then you play him. But anything less than 100% for me, you got to sit. As far as Kyrie's concerned, I said it when I saw that injury. I told y'all, I said he's not coming back this game, and I guarantee you he's not coming back for the series because, let's face it, that's a tough
on that ankle, man. He
yeah.
landed like his foot rolled, and all his weight was on that ankle. So
and his ankle was touching the ground.
Right. His whole ankle was touching that ground. So I kind of knew it was bad. Like I knew it was bad, Yeah. So, hey, like I said, man, nobody knew or thought injuries would hit this team the way it has. And
I said that in the beginning of the year when I told you the Knicks could beat them if two of the superstars are out. I said it could happen.
So
it could happen.
Even if KD could beat the Knicks by himself.
Well, that's a whole other conversation. But I said there was a possibility.
So we can't have that convo.
You jinxed it, huh?
I didn't jinx it. I just said there was a possibility. Listen, I wish no injury on nobody. As much as I've hated tons of players throughout my sports career. I've hated Tim Duncan. I hate Rajon Rondo. I hate Tom Brady. Never once wished an injury on anybody. But at a certain point, you set a trend, and especially Kyrie. Kyrie has set a trend since college that he is injury prone. James Harden, not as much. If anything, I thought he was going to be the one that was going to get left by himself because of KD's situation. I hope all three of these dudes could stay healthy or get healthy and then stay healthy, but they need to make the right decisions. And right now with James Harden playing, that's not the right decision. To me, if I'm Steve Nash, I'm going to KD and I'm like, yo, this is your squad. This is your team. Put them on your back, win this one, and then maybe James Harden will be okay for the next game. Get us one game. If whether you gotta drop that 50 or whether you gotta drop that 30 and like you said, play outside your game and get other people involved, elevate your teammates, do what you got to do, get us this game, and see what we can what happens after that. You said KD has kind of had it easy these past 5-6 years, and I say this. And I'm a huge KD fan. I've always been a fan of KD since back in Texas. When you think about it, he's never really had it that hard his whole career in the NBA. He's always had at least one other superstar on his team. There's a lot of players who have not had the embarrassment of riches that KD has had in his career as far as teammates are concerned.
Well, Russell Westbrook is kind of like a gift and a curse. So
yeah, but they won a lot of games, and it wasn't all Russell Westbrook's fault when they lost.
In the regular season, yeah.
Yeah, they had nothing to show for those games.
Yeah, once the playoff hit, things was different, So, they blew the 3-1 lead. That's not all on KD, and it's not all on Russ. That was kind of like a combination of both of them. But it's like Russ is not the type that keep feeding you when you hot. He's the type that get jealous that you're hot and you're scoring, and it's like, what about me? I want to score. So there were periods of time where KD wasn't getting the ball for 5-6 minutes because Russ want to chuck up bricks and everything. So that kind of cooled KD off. So, it's different. Like Russell Westbrook is like a gift and a curse. They really didn't have James Harden. When James Harden was who he became, He
Yeah.
kind of had him in the beginning, so I really don't count it as they had James Harden the way we view James Harden now. But
Right.
yeah, I'm talking about once he left OKC and joined the Golden State Warriors, and he had guys like Steph and Clay that can pretty much do a lot if he wanted to take the night off. So
All I'm saying is, if he wants to be viewed as one of the greats, as I think he should be, tonight is a game where he need to put him on his back and win the game.
yeah, most definitely.
So if he don't win, but he goes out there and he just performs, but the co-stars let him down, are we gonna come back tomorrow and scrutinize him?
No, I wouldn't. This is what I'm saying. Go
No.
out swinging. The reason
Yeah.
why, listen, the reason why we scrutinize LeBron versus Phoenix is because he didn't go out swinging. He pretty much rolled over and let Phoenix walk away with that. You can look at the stats. You can look at the numbers. Come on, 21, 22 points per game on less than 50% shooting. Like, when has LeBron ever did that? So if he would have went out there and put up one of those games where it's like, yo, I don't care if y'all don't score. I'm getting mines. I'm scoring 40, and I'm going to grab 13, 14 rebounds. Then it was like, he went out swinging. His players just didn't show up for him.
Yeah.
Then we scrutinized the team, not him.
Yeah.
But if KD go out there and lay an egg and end up, like I said, 11 for 28 and throwing up bricks, and come on, you letting PJ Tucker bully you and shut you down pretty much, like we can't have that, man.
But you don't want him to force it because he's gonna be the vocal point. So we definitely need Harrod. Harrod's got to step up. Blake got to step up.
Listen,
Brown, Shamet, James.
We know KD's game. Mid-range. He's the mid-range assassin. He could get in the paint, hit you with floaters, hit you with a mid-range. We want to see that. You ain't got to shoot 13, 14 three-pointers, bro. That's not your game. Milwaukee is not.
And I think PJ Tucker has a lot to do with that, because I think PJ Tucker got him out of his head and he stopped wanting to go in the paint because he was getting roughed up. And that's why he was settling for all those threes, and he can't do that.
You listen, you got to keep forcing the issue and hope you either get things to fall or the ref starts blowing the whistle. Other than that, you can't settle. Like like we said, this is a pivotal game where your I wouldn't say legacy is on the line, but it's like it's teetering to where people are gonna start to view you as, man, who is this guy without superstars?
So let's wrap this up. Who y'all got tonight?
I got the Nets in a close one.
I got my heart got the Nets, but my brain got the Bucks. So I don't know if
that's
that
how I
answers
feel.
the question.
That's how I feel.
I'm gonna roll with the Nets. I'm gonna go with the Nets in a close one. I do think the role players show up a little bit. I think they get something from Brown and a little bit from Blake and enough from Harris to pull this off. And I got the Nets in a close one.
Hopefully James Harden is pulling one of those fast ones on us and he's freaking healthy. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, if James Harden comes in and he's healthy, then yeah, I think it's the Nets. But I'm gonna go with off the information that we have and that he's not quite right, and I'm gonna say the Bucks. And hope I'm wrong, honestly, because I picked the Nets to win the series. I picked the Nets to win the whole thing before all these injuries. And we'll touch more on this maybe after we see what James Harden looks like tonight. But we'll touch on how this affects that team going forward in the future. But let's talk about the other two games that's left, both tied 2-2. First, we will go with we'll stay in the East. We'll go Philly, Atlanta. Atlanta got lucky last night. They squeaked by. They won. Tied up the series. How y'all feel? How you feel this series plays out? Do you think Joel Embiid's knee holds up? Because he didn't look great. he looked tired too. He was carrying this team those first 3 games. So y'all tell me, what do you think? Vic, let's go with you first.
Like you said, it's all on Joel Embiid's health. How is that knee starting to give out? Is the meniscus, is the pain really painful now? Is the shots not working? If that's the case, then this series is over because Ben Simmons is not going to do it by himself. That's for damn sure. Clint Capella's giving Embiid a little trouble with his length and athleticism. I know he's a little light in the ass. Get out of here, Joe. Clint's a little light in the ass, but like I say, he's long and he's athletic, so he's giving Joel shooting problems when he is in the paint and he's not able to bully. I'm going to assume because of the knee. Ben's got to step up. Steph's got to step up. Tobias everybody just has to step up for Philly to win. Embiid needs to be carried, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I see it going 7. My guy Trae Young is out there doing what he wants. I know we got some Trae Young haters on this panel, but it's all good though. Go ahead, Joe. You want to say something about Trae?
I like to see myself as a Trae Young realist.
But yeah, I see it going 7. It's all on Embiid's health, honestly. If Embiid could come out game 5 and throw them on the back, then maybe they win in 7. If not, I see Atlanta winning in 7.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
No Trae Young slander? Yeah, go for it.
No Trae Young slander over here, partner. I'm not gonna slander Trae Young. He got another 2 to 3 years before I start slandering his ass. On the other hand, I will be slandering Ben Simmons. He's been in the league long enough.
Only 2 years.
So, can we get a little chant of overrated now? Is like how much?
It's been coming from me for about a year already.
How much more do we need to see, and how many more years are we going to give this guy?
How is he overrated? Well, where is he rated? First of all, because I don't think he's overrated. I think he is what he is.
When he was drafted, he was supposed to be the next LeBron. Then after 2 years, after spending the whole year being injured, and came back and won Rookie of the Year, stole Rookie of the Year. Because he wasn't Rookie of the Year.
He was Rookie of the Year.
No, he didn't. He stole that. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that much longer. So once he stole Rookie of the Year, all the hype was around him about how he's the new coming superstar and he's going to do this and do that and be this and be that. And they were throwing, once he moved to point guard, they was throwing the Magic Johnson compare. Oh, he's a 6'10" point guard. He could do this. He could do that. We got another Magic Johnson, LeBron James in the making. Here we are 4 years later. We still got to ask, where you at, bro? What's going on here? So it's to a point where Philly can't beat Atlanta if Joel Embiid can't carry this team with a torn meniscus. Asinine. This guy is overrated.
He's not overrated. He is what he is. If you ask me, he's not taking enough. No, he's not. He's not. He's not taking enough shots. He's not taking enough shots.
Because he can't shoot and he's scared to go to the basket.
He's not.
What are you scared for? To go up against Capella?
He's not taking enough shots because he can't shoot.
I don't mean jump shots. I'm talking about driving to the basket.
He can't do none of that.
What you mean he can't?
All right. So you mean to tell me the only way he can score is
to the basket?
It's to taking it to the basket.
Yeah.
That's it. So if he can't take it to the basket, he can't do nothing else. That's a bum. You're a bum.
Right now, he can't. That's on him.
You're a bum. You can't. You have no business.
He's shooting over 55%.
You are, because 99% of his shots
in the paint.
are at the rim.
But he's not taking enough.
All right. Because why?
Because he can't shoot free throws.
He can't do nothing.
Nah, you have to.
He can't do nothing else but lay the ball up and dunk the ball. My dude, that's Manute Bol. That's George Mirasan. That's Sean Bradley. Come on, bro. I don't want to. I'm not gonna sit here and keep debating that this guy isn't overrated. You are making $40 million. He signed an extension, 4 years, $164 million. You are making $40 million a year. And you mean to tell me you can't go out there and score 25 to 30 points to help your team win?
That's not his game.
Then what is your game?
His game is everything else: passing, rebounding, and playing defense.
How many assists is he averaging during this series?
Game 1 he's had 10. Game 2 7. Game 3 7. Game 4 9.
So what's that?
So he's averaging about 8.5.
It's about 8.5 assists a game. Okay, so you being out assisted by your counterpart Trae Young, because Trae Young is averaging way more than 8.5 assists a game.
That's because Trae Young is the man.
That's not here and there, nor there. All right, what else is his game? Defense.
He plays defense.
All right, you're not doing great at that because Trae Young is lighting you up as well.
But he's also shooting like shit.
He always shoot like shit. But the fact that he's scoring 25 to 30 points a game is all that matters. What else can Ben Simmons do? He's supposed to be grabbing rebounds. How many rebounds is he averaging in this series?
4, 3, 4, and then game 4 he grabbed 12.
All right, so altogether, that's about 21. So you're not even averaging 6 rebounds a game.
About 5.5, some shit like that.
That's all mediocre. You just sat here and gave me all mediocre numbers. So now let's go. Hold on. Let's go to the real points per game. How many points per game is he averaging during this series in 4 games?
Game 1, 17. Game 2, 4. Game 3, 18. Game 4, 11.
So he's averaging around 15 points a game.
And he's not taking enough attempts. He needs to drive to the basket more.
Okay, you're saying that he needs to drive to the basket more.
So hold on. Officially, he's averaging 12.5 points, 1 block, 2 steals, 8.3 assists, and 5.8 rebounds. That's officially what he's averaging.
On what, 55%, 58% shooting?
And this is coming
67% shooting.
And he's not shooting enough.
Okay.
Shooting 32% from the free throw line.
Hold on. Now
32%.
So all them numbers you just mentioned, Joe, all them numbers, that's Clint Capella stuff. So now if you flip it to the counterpart, other than possibly the assists, because and Clint Capella is averaging possibly more than double rebounds than what Ben Simmons
Clint Capella is averaging 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist.
1 assist. So now you flip. Ben Simmons is beating him in assists, and Capella is beating him in rebounds. As far as the points, they're not that far off. Again, this is supposed to be. So now you want to sit here and give praise to a guy like Ben Simmons, but just bash Aaron Gordon for putting up basically the same fucking numbers. So what I don't get it. Like, you can't sit here and pray. Ben Simmons is supposed to be the second best player on that team. When Joel can't do it, Ben Simmons is supposed to be able to carry that team. And he cannot do that.
I never said Ben's going to carry anybody.
Because he can't.
He's not capable of that.
He can't.
But he has to play his game. These 7 attack. You have to attack the basket.
His game does not work if there is defense. You are playing a team that plays defense. Atlanta plays defense. They have rim protectors. They have guys like Capella and Collins and Bogdanovich and Gallinari who are lanky, who are tall, who defend the paint, who makes it difficult for you to get to the basket. When you in the NBA, your game has to be multi-dimensional. How come Joel Embiid been in the league for just as long as Ben Simmons and got a better jump shot than Ben Simmons? And when he came in the league, he couldn't shoot.
Who, Embiid?
Yeah, Embiid couldn't shoot.
Shoot better than Ben.
Exactly. This is my point. He came into the league and worked on what he needed to work on. Ben Simmons is not working on nothing.
Ben needs to break down the defense, drive,
He
and
can.
dish. Yes, he can break down the defense.
No, he can't. He can only break down the defense when he's dealing with a team that has one defender. When you play Atlanta, Atlanta has more than one defender. Atlanta is not putting Trae Young on him. Therefore, once he does not have the ability to get past his man. For one, Ben Simmons ain't got no handle. So he's not dribbling and shaking past nobody. His points come on fast breaks.
I was just about to say that. Philly needs to run. Philly needs to run.
You cannot run with a team like
You
Atlanta.
can.
No, you cannot.
Philly has to run.
Philly cannot run against this team. This team they're too good at defending the ball and not really turning the ball over.
I'm not buying that. Ben has to push. Ben has to.
Trae Young had 18 assists his last game.
I know, he's phenomenal.
How many turnovers did he have?
I think he had like 1 or 2.
All right. So how many turnovers did Atlanta have as a
team? I think they had 5.
All right. They are not. How many offensive possessions did they have?
That I don't know.
Over 100. They don't have that. Again, this is a team that does not turn the ball over all the time. You are not running against this team. They are tall, they are lanky, and they all play defense. It's not just Capella. So when Ben Simmons got the ball and he's bringing the ball up, he doesn't have a shake and bake handle. He doesn't have the crossover, the dribble to get past his initial defender, which is either Collins or Hunter or Gallinari or Bogdanovich, who are all his height, got the same length or even better, and he can't get past his initial defender.
It's the same.
The basket.
Then he needs the post.
It's the same issue that Randall had. It's the same issue.
Right. And since Randall don't have the shake and bake handles, it was difficult for him to get to his spots. But the difference.
So let's wrap this up. Who y'all got winning tonight? We're not going to predict the series going forward, but tomorrow. Who y'all winning tomorrow?
I got Atlanta winning the next game.
What's the status on Embiid? Is he good to go?
They haven't said anything about it, so
I don't think.
I'm going Philly.
I don't think Embiid could keep on. I just think he do need some sort of assistance and help, and it needs to start with Ben Simmons. It's sad that we keep skipping him and looking for Harris and Seth Curry.
That's what I'm saying. I think Harris needs to step up and have a good game. If Harris steps up and has a good game, I got Philly winning tomorrow.
I got Philly.
I don't know, because like I said, Atlanta's defense is focused on those guys. They don't mind if Embiid. This is why Embiid was scoring 39, 40, and them big numbers. They don't mind that.
So you got Atlanta winning tomorrow. Me and Vic got Philly.
Winning. Yeah.
All right. So let's move on, and we'll spend more time on this on Thursday. Because I could tell that this is going to be a good topic for both of y'all on this. But let's move on. The Clippers did it again. They brought it back. It's 2-2. Donovan Mitchell's definitely not healthy. They play tomorrow. How do y'all think that this one shapes out? And do you how big of an impact does this Mitchell injury have? I believe it's an ankle injury, which is hard to play, especially his style of play. So how y'all see this one shaking out?
I think the Conley injury is bigger. I mean, the Clippers seem to be okay with letting Mitchell score his 30, 35, 37, 40, whatever. They are doing a great job taking everyone else out the game. You haven't heard nothing big from Ingles. You haven't heard nothing big from Gobert, from Clarkson, from Bogdanovich. None of those guys have put up anything during this series. Utah won the first 2 games, but they were real close. And there were times where the Clippers had chances to win those games, but down the stretch, they just couldn't do it. I think the Clippers are doing a great job with allowing Paul George to bring the ball up, because now the switches work in their favor. It's usually a pick and roll scheme between Paul George and Kawhi and maybe Batum, and that's breaking the defense down, because now you got Batum playing center. That forces Gobert out the paint.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing great with that. And I just think the Clippers are starting. Like I said, it always takes them a game or two to figure things out. But once they figure things out, it's very difficult to beat them. You need Paul George and Kawhi to have a bad game as opposed to being able to compete when they have a good game. So if Paul George and Kawhi have good games, chances are you're not beating them. So
yeah,
I got the Clippers figuring things out. I don't think Mitchell's injury is going to play a factor. But if it does, it just makes it even easier for the Clippers. But if Conley doesn't come back and if Conley is not playing, then I got the Clippers.
And I don't think, I might be wrong, but I don't think there's any expectation that he's coming back, right?
No, not to my knowledge.
Not to my knowledge. I think Conley is set to miss Game 5 as well.
What you think, Vic?
Joe, what do we say every time about this Clipper team? Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and freaking Hyde every time.
Hyde. But again, it takes them a couple of games to get shit figured out, man.
Like I said before, when this Clipper team is on, they're pretty much unbeatable. And even when they're not on, they're damn near unbeatable. 9 times out of 10, they beat themselves. Y'all seen Pandemic P out there? Because I haven't seen him. I seen Playoff P.
I see Indiana Pacers Paul George right now.
I don't know that Pandemic P that everyone was talking about, but Playoff P has been in full effect in this entire series. That first game, he shot like crap. Since game 1, he shot about close to 50%. No Pandemic P. That's over with. We're moving on to Playoff P now.
As far as I'm concerned, he's been Pandemic P longer than he's been Playoff P, so he's still got that moniker. He's folded the past 4 years before this. You got to give me more than.
Sorry.
I mean,
you got to give me more than one series before you knock that. I mean, you got to give me more than one.
I wouldn't even say he folded. Me personally, the bubble was different. Like, a lot of people didn't want to play. And everybody say, well, you had the opportunity not to, and you didn't. Like, you're not going to say this, and you're not going to be like, well, I'm not going, I'm staying home. Once 60% of the team chooses to go, you're going to go. So I think that's what it is. But his years in Indiana, he pretty much carried them. He pretty much was the best player on their team. There wasn't, like, he couldn't get past Braun and everything, but who couldn't? The Cavs on the ropes. They were up 3-2, and they lost 2 games in a row to let the Cavs go to the finals. So it wasn't easy. Toronto. How many times Toronto got swept and beaten by LeBron in the playoffs? So
all the time.
Yeah. So it's like I said, I don't know. I think this Pandemic P, it started last year in the bubble because he wasn't playing good.
No, it started before that. It started in OKC when he folded against Lillard.
That was last year. That was what, the year before?
The year before.
That was the year before.
He just had the game-winning shot in his face. That was it. But if you look at the numbers, he did his job. He put up his numbers. You know what I'm saying? It was just because the guy hit a game-winning shot in my face. Like, first of all, he shouldn't have been guarding Lillard at that moment because Russ was doing all the chirping. So why the fuck Russ wasn't guarding him?
Because he didn't want to get embarrassed like that.
That's your man. Y'all both
why.
point guards. Y'all both. This is your position. You was the one chirping, going back and forth with this guy. You should have been guarding him in the closing minutes.
I agree.
But he wasn't. And Paul George took the responsibility and the assignment to take him. And just because he got one game-winning shot in his face, people want to call him Pandemic P. Like, I don't get that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they have been.
I think it was more than that, but we're going to not spend too much time on that. Just keep it moving.
Not to cut you off, I think the X factor, like Joe said, has been Batum. Bringing Goldberg out the paint has helped tremendously. So I think if they stick with Batum in that lineup, I think the Clippers win the next two. Because Gobert has no impact.
None whatsoever. Yeah. And he was in foul trouble yesterday.
Yeah, so that leaves the lane open for Kawhi and PG to attack. Because you gotta honor Batum 3-point because he can hit it.
Yeah.
So
and Kawhi had by far the second best poster of the playoffs so far. We all know who number one was. We won't got to even mention the name, but I will anyway. RJ Barrett, but that dunk was nasty last night. You're not going to tell me that RJ Barrett dunk was not the highlight of the playoffs, the dunk of the playoffs?
Last night, the Knicks played.
You're the only one that probably remember that shit.
That's not true. Come on. Let's be real.
Can we get the video? Can we get the highlight?
I don't remember RJ Barrett dunk. That was, first of all, you bringing up Kawhi's dunk last night. What about his dunk a week ago against Kleber? Did we forget
honestly, that? I didn't see that. If it was better than that one.
To be honest, that was more brutal than the dunk he had last night.
Hold on, I'm about to look it up.
I really don't remember Barrett.
He killed Max Kleber. Max Kleber, it was done after that. Rest in peace. See you next year. Bye-bye, Max Kleber. Kawhi Leonard finished you.
Kleber's a bum.
3 weeks ago, was that right? This says 3 weeks ago.
Who, Max Kleber? Yeah, it was against the series in Dallas. It could have been about that long.
Hold on, I'm about to watch it right now.
Stretch these playoffs out, so
it doesn't seem damn 3 weeks ago. That's crazy though. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but
hey, listen,
I guess it has been.
I do that all the time on 2K. I ain't impressed with none of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, if you want to call it the second, I was calling it the second because I was calling his dunk on Max. Yeah, exactly. I was calling his dunk on Max Kleber the first.
All right. That's number one. RJ number 2, and that one last night was number 3.
I don't know. I would have to look at RJ's dunk again, but I got Kawhi.
What did he dunk on?
Bogdanovic or
he dunked on Bogdanovic.
Yeah.
Not Capella?
Nah.
Oh, get it out of here. We don't care. Yeah, we don't care.
You don't care. That's because you a hater.
Get him out of here.
Max Kleber is they starting center, and Derek Favors supposed to be a top defender coming.
Derek Favors is still in the league. Good for him.
Yeah, he's a good defender as well. So, I got Kawhi number 1 and number 2.
And number 3.
Yeah, Vic, you remember that Barrett dunk. They just haters, man. Don't listen to them.
We got 2 Knicks fans. Of course they're going to remember it.
It's not even about that. There's only been maybe 5 good dunks in these playoffs. You going to really rob this man just because you a hater? Come on, man.
I'll put Barrett number 3. No problem.
I'll put Barrett number 10.
Yeah, I get Barrett number 3. I'll let you live, Joe. Barrett is number 3. But even you looked at that Kawhi dunk and was like, ooh.
Oh, no, I'm not taking nothing. No, hey,
that shit was funky.
You know me. I'm a Kawhi fan. I fucks with everything about Kawhi, and that dunk was nasty. I did not see that one. That was nasty.
That was filthy. So
don't worry, He'll never do it in a Knick jersey. Just want to throw that out there.
So, but I mean,
So who y'all got winning? Who y'all winning tomorrow in this series?
You stupid, Vic. I got the Clippers. I think the Clippers are going to win the next 2. They figured it out. It's like once they figure it out, That's it.
Yeah, I think they found like I said, it just takes them a couple of games to get it figured out. And the crazy thing is they barely lost game one. So you're talking about they could have been up 3-1 right
Could have
now.
been a sweep, honestly.
Yeah, like so I think
Spider not letting the sweep happen.
they just had to figure things out. I mean, he ain't letting the sweep happen, but that losing in 6 can definitely happen. So I got the Clippers in game 5, and it'll all depend on what these injuries do. If Mitchell is still bitten by this injury, and then you got Conley that's not really looking to return, then yeah, I got the Clippers in 6. If you,
I think I seen somebody say they got Conley as day to day right now.
I know what that means. That means every day they're gonna say the same.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, that's gonna be the update every day.
Yeah, they're gonna just update it every day and just say he's not gonna play today.
Yeah,
that's what they've been doing.
So I'm gonna I mean I agree. I think the Clippers will take it, especially with Spider not being 100% and Conley probably not coming back. But how great of a story would it be if somehow Utah made it to the finals after all the shit they was talking about them for the All-Star game? Like, nobody cares about Utah. That would just be a great story. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah,
I think it'll suck for the NBA because I don't think many people will watch it.
Yeah, I don't care for Utah.
I think Phoenix and the Clippers are more of a hype story. I would love to see Phoenix go. Like, I would love Chris Paul to really get a chance to win this ring.
Yeah,
I would love it. Like, especially if things the way the East is going, like with all these injuries and everything, if they were to play a team like Philly or Milwaukee, I think they would definitely be able to beat those teams, you know. And even a Nets team that's not at full strength, if they was to play a Nets team that's missing a James Harden or Kyrie or whatever, then things might be persuaded to their direction as well. But I would love CP3 to make it to the finals. You know,
yeah, me too.
If he doesn't win, I would love for that to happen, especially in his first year in Phoenix, to take them to the NBA Finals. You know, it'll be awesome. And also, you got the Western Conference Finals with, if they were to play the Clippers, you got CP3 against his former team. You know, you got so that makes a good storyline.
And let's be real, this, you know, if it ends up being the Suns and Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, that will be the first. This will be the first fully, for the most part, fully healthy team that the Suns have faced. That's been the biggest knock on them. That the Lakers were hurt, the Nuggets were hurt. You know, they haven't played anybody at full strength yet. So, you know, that's an argument. I see, you know, validity in those arguments. You can't not. I mean, obviously, but I agree. I think seeing Chris Paul make it to the finals. I mean, injuries are always going to take part. I mean, the Raptors only won their championship because that whole Golden State team was hurt. I mean, injuries play a part. You play with the players that you got that are available. So I think seeing Chris Paul in the finals would be amazing, regardless of who they play on the side of the East.
I agree.
But let's just be real. I mean, it's just good to see some fresh, new faces, some new blood.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm happy. I was tired of seeing the Cavs, the Lakers, Golden State, the usual suspects.
Nah, I could watch Steph every final. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. That it would have been cool, but I'm happy that somebody new will be winning the trophy this year.
Yeah.
No matter who it is, the teams that are left, they are all fresh. They are all new. So somebody will be winning a ring
for the first time.
You know, even if it's a repeated guy like KD, then you got new guys like Harden and Blake Griffin and, you know, DeAndre Jordan. Mm-hmm. And even if you have a repeated guy like Kawhi, you got new guys like Paul George.
That whole team.
Yeah, basically the whole team, except Kawhi and Rondo. Those are like the only two players.
Oh, and Ibaka, because Ibaka won with Kawhi.
Yeah.
Ibaka won with Kawhi. So,
Well, on that note, let's wrap this one up. We went a little long because we had a lot we wanted to talk about. We will be back on Thursday. We do appreciate everybody that got involved in the chats. As always, hit us up, and we wrapping up.
Go.
There it is. That's what everybody came to see.
The show without the star. Say hi.
So everybody enjoy the game tonight.
That's right.
We'll be back Thursday. If you haven't seen that RJ Barrett dunk, go watch it. Watch the Euros. Like I said, it's two matches a game. They all on ESPN. Watch these matches. They are fun to watch. Most of them. There's been a couple of clunkers, but watch the Euros. And we'll be back on Thursday talking more basketball because I don't think anything else is going to happen.
Just baseball.
Maybe we'll check out Jacob deGrom tomorrow on the mound. Easy win for the Mets. Let's go, Jake.
Check out Jerry Cole. He'll be on the news soon.
And go Braves.
Go home
for the wrong reasons.
I hope he ain't caught up.